Hello there, my name is Rick.
Ciao, I'm Millie.
And this is episode 9
Nove.
of season 4
Quattro.
of
Yonks
Ago! Yeah.
We're going back, way back in the past. This is not our first season, and it won't be the last. We've been thriving deep dive and won't deprive you of more. And breezing through the door is season 4. And for too long now, she's been stuck in the dark. So we're gonna shine a light on Joan of Arc. And you know it's a show where we go with the flow as we learn about people from Yonks Ago. Gimme Yonks, gimme Yonks, gimme Yonks Ago. Gimme Yonks, gimme Yonks, gimme Yonks Ago. Cause you know we will grow everything that we know all about somebody from Yonks Ago. Gimme, 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 gimme Yonks Ago. I say gimme, 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 gimme Yonks Ago.
I say go so.
All right, we've done it. We got through the intro.
Woo!
I mean, full disclosure, it took us about 4 times to get that right. I just haven't got the sound levels right. I still don't think they're ideal, but we'll just hopefully the post-production will smooth it all out.
Yeah.
It's not abysmal. Either I'm too loud or you're too loud. Where do we meet in the middle?
We don't.
We never do.
Yeah.
We just can't find that sweet spot where both of us sound like we're talking at the same level.
Yeah.
Because we don't talk at the same level.
It's true.
So we try to artificially manufacture our voices to sound the same, and it's a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah, it is.
But hopefully, fingers crossed, while you're listening to this, dear Yonky Doodlers, the post-production has made it sound at least vaguely, equivalent. That's all we ask. Equivalency. It's a simple dream, an achievable dream.
It is.
But have we achieved it? I don't know. I won't know until we've released it.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I mean,
tension.
if we had headphones, but
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, 4 seasons in, not even bothering. You're lucky we even checked the sound levels of the introduction.
I mean, we haven't done that in the past, so it is lucky, actually.
Our first try today was an absolute debacle. It was just recording through the laptop speakers and sounded very rustic, unacceptable levels of sound quality. And I'd say we would never allow that, but we have in the past.
It's true. Many times.
Because we haven't checked.
Yeah.
But this time we heard it, and so we re-recorded, and we checked again to make sure we got it right, and we sort of we were recording through the right device.
I was quieter than a mouse.
Just terrible levels. So then we tried again, but this time flipped it. I was quiet. Millie was coming through like voice of God. And so 4th time we've got kind of close enough-ish.
I was a little bit enthusiastic still.
Yeah. We're not doing it 5 times. But
it is season 4.
It is. 4 is the limit.
Yeah.
Whatever you get on the 4th try is what we're sticking with.
Exactly.
So you're welcome. But if you felt like that introduction had a weird, jagged edge to it, like these guys are on tilt, like they don't normally come in so hard. It's because we'd already had 3 failed attempts.
I don't know. Sometimes we do come in pretty hard, just for no reason. It's whatever. Like I match your energy a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's whatever you throw at me, I match pretty much.
And you never know what I'm going to give.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a excitable, ball of energy. Sometimes I'm a broken shell of a man.
Also, sometimes you say like, "Hello, I'm Rick," or you say. Like,
hello
howdy,
there.
howdy, my name is.
Yeah. Or what?
Yeah.
They call me Rick.
Yeah, and then I match that. I'm like, ooh, whatever I say is dependent on what you say.
Look, a lot can happen in the introduction is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
And we take great pride.
There's no script.
Except for the very carefully scripted opening that we do.
There are, what's the word? There are...
parameters.
Yeah. But there's not like a script that we stick to.
I mean, I'd say you're 100% wrong in terms of the opening.
No, that's what I just said. You switch it up. There's not a script.
Oh, I see. That. I mean, it's loose.
Yeah.
But you'd have to say it's pretty similar.
Yeah, but still, it's not set in stone is what I'm saying. Therefore, not one intro is the same, Dad.
It's a tight script with a bit of wriggle room is what I would say.
Not one intro is the same. We changed the numbers.
Changed the number.
And you say, what?
Through necessity.
Howdy.
No, I would say 90% of the time I do, hi, my name is, Oh,
Okay.
I'd keep it similar because I feel like sometimes I've mixed it up and it's thrown you. You've been like, what is going on?
I reckon
That came from nowhere.
That's funny though. It
All
makes
right,
it-
I'll bear that in mind.
yeah, I prefer that.
All right, well, that's all the time we've got for episode 9, unfortunately. We've dissected the
We
introduction.
always go on a little tangent at the beginning, bro.
Oh, mate.
It's the best bit of the pod.
Classic Yonky Doodles going on right now. Oh, this is what the Yonky Doodlers pay for in their
It's
time.
free. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything costs something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
At a soul level.
Yeah.
It hurts their hearts sometimes, our nonsense. But Joan of Arc, that's who we're here to talk about.
It's true.
And we have realised this is episode 9, Yonky Doodlers. And if some of our seasons, you're getting 50
Oh,
episodes.
bro, you're getting too many.
Yeah, you're Don Bradman. I don't even know how many episodes we did, but he deserved 4 at best. But I do want to warn you because I've only just realised myself this episode does not have much left in it. It's like I don't know
This
if you,
season?
Yeah, this season.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Clarification on point. This season is it's in its final stages. It's in the downhill run.
We wrapping up?
Anyone who is familiar with the Joan of Arc story knows she didn't live a long life.
Yeah, I'm not familiar, so I don't know. But I assume not many people lived a long life back then.
Just because it was Yonks Ago.
Yeah.
Life expectancy, etc. And look, she's been shot with arrows. She's been hit in the head with boulders.
Mate.
She puts herself in harm's way.
Yeah.
So look, if anyone is not long for this world, you think Joan of Arc, especially.
But she's got the gods on her side.
Yeah, I mean the gods. That's the only reason she's still with us.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we got past season, like episode 4. I reckon. But look, Ned Kelly as well. He only went for 18 episodes, 17, 18 episodes. But I think this might, even with Ned Kelly coming in so short, this might be our shortest season, I'm sad to say, because I have been loving the Joan of Arc journey.
But, I reckon that's good. Like, some just be like a short and sweet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc, she burns bright.
Especially after Nancy Wake and Don Bradman combined. Like, Nancy Wake was our longest season, I think.
Yes.
That was crazy.
She lived a life.
Oh, she did. And we took some breaks as well. We took some hiatuses.
Yeah, a hiatus. Yeah. So look, I'm just preparing the Yonky Doodlers.
Yeah.
Maybe only a few more episodes left in the Joan of Arc journey.
But then we get someone new.
That's right.
New theme song.
Nice.
I love that.
Good to keep it in motion.
I love to get in the recording stewed.
When do we release our CD? The Yonks Ago theme song
Mate,
compilation
whenever.
CD.
When we get a good track list.
Should we make a cassette tape? Of
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get a compilation, unless you're willing to do the work yourself, which would be
pretty easy.
So easy. I mean, it's all there on the internet.
Yeah.
Just grab it, make it your own. But if you want the cassette tape, come to us.
Exactly.
Unless you want to do the work yourself, which again would be relatively easy. So once again, my ability to market and merchandise is chef's kiss. Joan of Arc. Look, quick recap.
Yep.
She's obviously she got the crown on King Chucky Jr.'s head.
Yep.
He very quickly turned into King Schmucky Jr. No longer wants her threatening his reign. Because he's had worm tongues in his ear saying this Joan of Arc has got some influence. The people love her. She's been out there fighting the good fight. Everyone gets around Joan when she's in town. And that's going to be an issue if you let it. And so he's tried to retire her from the battlefield. He's made Joan and her family nobility to try to sweeten the deal of saying you're no longer necessary.
Yeah.
But she's gone rogue in her own way. She's gone to fight her own fights because King Schmucky Jr. has also got an uneasy truce going with the Burgundians.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to get involved. Doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
Yeah, he's like, now that I'm the king, whatever.
I don't want any of this beef.
Yeah.
And the Burgundians have started using this truce. They've started to use the grey area of the truce to get a little rough around the edges. They're going into towns that are officially flying the Burgundian flag. They're going in there doing a vibe check and they're saying, you failed the vibe check. You've got a real Almagnac vibe in this town and we're not having it. And they start mistreating the townsfolk. And so people are all like, we don't like where this is heading. Who comes out of retirement? Joan of Arc. She grabs J Metz and Bertrand de Poulengy and says, "Time to ride."
The trio, the golden trio.
Yeah. And the three of them head out. This is how I remember it. The three of them head out into the field. J Metz playing some beats. Bertrand de Poulengy just representing as Bertrand de Poulengy does.
Yeah.
And people just keep joining the fight. People are like, Joan's coming through town, let's get on board.
Exactly.
The army grows, the vibe increases. They're liberating towns that want to be.
Yeah.
They're like, how are you feeling about this whole Burgundian thing? They're like, get us out.
Yeah.
They're like, done.
Easy.
And she's allowing the townsfolk to deal harsh justice if they so desire. So she liberates a town. She says to them, "What do you want to do with this guy who's been mistreating you this Burgundian bully?" And they're like, "We'd like to kill him if we could." Joan's like, "Look, I wouldn't do it myself, but if that's the way you want to deal with it, I'm not going to stop you."
She's for the people.
Yeah. And so that's the way Joan's going. Again, I can't imagine anything but love from the people coming Joan's way.
Yeah.
She's the hero the people need right now.
Exactly.
While King Schmucky Jr. is oozing slime behind the scenes.
Yeah, for real.
And so they've just freed a town. They've executed the guy that was mistreating them. And so she's heading off to Compagnie.
Ooh.
She's reached Compagnie on the 14th of May.
Oh, that's quite soon.
That's right. I mean, yes, it was just a mere, like 500 years ago.
Yeah.
What year are we in?
I don't even remember.
I know, we can never keep track. We can never keep track. Let me just do a quick time check because this could take some time. All right, I've done the time check. It was 593 years ago, almost to the day, that she arrived in Compagnie. So Jones arrived in Compagnie, and after defensive forays against the Burgundian besiegers, so the Burgundians have besieged.
I don't know what that means.
A siege, where they, they've just occupied, or they're surrounding the town, I'd say, or they're just holding the town hostage.
Yeah,
is probably what they're doing. They besieged the town.
What's with the prefix?
I don't know.
Why is it a B?
It's like, well, I think it's similar to if someone is jeweled or if they're bejeweled.
Oh, it's just besieged, bro.
So after defensive forays against the Burgundian besiegers, she was forced to disband the majority of her army because it become too difficult for the surrounding countryside to support.
Oh,
so she's coming to town with a massive army because everyone wants to be in Joan's crew, where the vibe is always excellent.
Yeah.
But there's not enough resources in the surrounding area. It's a barren landscape.
Yeah.
Compagnie did not. It's like if a music festival just set up in a town that had no idea there was a music festival coming. Middle of nowhere. There's no infrastructure. There's nowhere for people to go to the toilet. There's no food. There's no clean running water. There's just nothing to sustain this massive influx of people. Yeah. And Joan has assessed the area. She's got, we've got to take on the besiegers, the Burgundian besiegers. Need to be taught a lesson, Joan style. Yeah. But there's far too many of us. So she's gone, everyone who's not part of the core crew, back to your homes. Go to your homes or you're going to starve to death and drown in your own feces. All right? We do not have the infrastructure. Which is a little talked about historical, people don't talk about the infrastructure needs of the heroes of the past. Yeah. I've never heard about it. It's all well and good to raise an army and to march on people and try to liberate people who want to be liberated, but where are they doing a shite? Where is
I've always wondered this, Dad.
Who's dealing with the day-to-day logistics? Yeah. And if there's too many people, sure, that means you've got more people to fight. Yeah. But that means more people to feed, more daily ablutions to deal with. Yeah. There's just a lot of day-to-day logistics that can bring an army unstuck. Exactly. And Joan has looked at the situation and said, enough's enough. The core crew can stay. Everyone else go home. Yeah. So Joan and about 400 of her core crew. So still a decent. I don't even want to imagine how many she had there. I'm thinking 10,000 at least.
She had millions, trillions.
A heaving ocean of Joan army just had to subside.
Yeah.
The tide had to go out.
Yeah.
And 400 have stuck around, and 400 of them entered the town. They've gotten into Compagnie. And they've liberated. They've said, "Compagnie, you're free." Then on the 23rd of May, 1430, Joan accompanied a tight Armagnac force. So even that's just her, J Metz. I reckon just the three of them. The three of them have headed out of Compagnie to attack the Burgundian camp at Marnier, northeast of the town, if you're wondering.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Compass-wise, they went northeast.
I've been keeping a map in my head.
Yeah, I feel like northeast is her favourite direction to march. And if there's a camp there, you're done for.
Northeast is a good direction in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good vibes.
Yeah.
So off the three of them go to attack this camp, the Burgundian camp. I'm sad to say the attack has failed.
Oh, only three of them, yeah. A bit tricky.
Not only did it fail, Joan
died.
Captured. Captured. They got their mitts on Joan. I'm worried
I'm
that
shocked.
the only way they're going to capture Joan is if J Metz and Bertrand de Poulengy were deceased.
No.
Unless they were all captured together, but
Deceased.
I'm thinking this might be where J Metz and Bertrand de Poulengy met their end.
No, nothing can bring down Bertrand de Poulengy.
Well, then I think it must have been J Metz. J Metz died.
Yeah.
Bertrand de Poulengy knocked unconscious. Knocked unconscious.
I always imagined J Metz would go first.
Yeah. So J Metz, unfortunately, I'm going to call it here.
Yeah.
Has been killed. Bertrand de Poulengy knocked unconscious. Joan of Arc captured by the Burgundian force.
Oh my goodness.
She agreed to surrender to a pro-Burgundian nobleman named Lionel de Vendôme. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Lionel de Vendôme. Who was a member of Jean de Luxembourg's contingent, if you're wondering.
Goodness.
So Jean-Claude Van Damme has accepted Joan's surrender. And Jean-Claude Van Damme has moved her to his castle in Boulay-le-Fontaine, which was near Neuss. Neuss. So she is now being held prisoner in Neuss.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's one thing to capture Joan of Arc, but then what do you do with her? Well, I tell you, first things first, she attempts an escape. She's like, yeet, I'm out of here. He's like, I am not sticking around. I'm called by God. I'm going to get back, find out what's happened to J Metz. She doesn't know he's dead.
No, yeah.
Where's Bertrand de Poulengy? He's got amnesia. He doesn't even remember his name.
No! But he still remembers the sick beats.
Yeah, that's the only thing he's got. Because his beating heart was the first thing he heard when he came back to consciousness.
Like, what is that melody?
It's the only thing that made sense to him. So she quickly attempts an escape, but they capture her. She doesn't get out.
Yeah.
But they transferred her to a more secure castle. It was like she almost made it. She picked like 3 locks. Yeah. She beat up 9 guards. If it wasn't for the crocodiles in the moat, she would have made it. So she's transferred to Beaurevoir Castle.
Sheesh.
Man, that's hard to get out.
Yeah.
Mate, first night there, mate's another escape attempt.
Yeah.
She's like, they're like, will you promise not to escape? She's like, I promise. As soon as they turned her back, yeet.
Well, she had her fingers crossed, to be fair.
Yes. She made another escape attempt while there, jumping from a window of a tower
oh my God, that's
and
just
landing
death.
in a dry moat. She injured herself but survived. Classic Joan. She jumped out of a tower window thinking, I'll jump from the tower window into the moat, swim to safety. There was no water in the moat. It was nighttime. She couldn't see. In her defense, it's a rock solid plan.
To be fair, the tower wasn't that high.
Yeah. I reckon she broke both legs. And they found her crawling.
Yeah.
Crawling just with her hand. I reckon she got like 8 kilometres before they found her.
That's a good effort.
Yeah. She almost made it. Broken legs. So then in November,
Oh my God, it's
so
been a while.
months.
That's like the whole year.
It's been half a year.
August.
Well, she had to wait for her legs
I
to heal.
skipped June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months.
Yeah.
Half a year.
That's right. In November, she was moved to the Burgundian town of Arras. So her legs are healed, and they have got her under constant guard. She's had 2 failed attempts now. They got an idea. You've got to keep constant watch on Joan.
Yeah.
There's nothing she will not do to try to get out of this situation.
It's a bit harder now considering her legs as well.
Yeah. Now, the English and Burgundians, who are obviously on the same side, they rejoiced that Joan had been removed as a military threat.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
I mean, yeah.
One less thing to worry about. The English negotiated with their Burgundian allies to pay Joan's ransom. So they put a price on Joan's head.
Yeah.
That'd be a hefty price tag, let me tell you. The English are like, we'll pay it, mate. If the French aren't going to do it, we'll do it. If your Armagnacs aren't willing to pay, and I'm telling you, King Schmucky Jr., he's not paying the ransom. He's happy as Larry.
Yeah.
And Larry's always happy. The English negotiate to pay the ransom and transfer her to their custody.
Oh, dear.
They want a piece of the Joan action. They want to use her as their own political pawn. So Bishop Pierre Cauchon,
Yeah, Pierre
Cauchon, who was he's a supporter of the Duke, but he's a rock solid Burgundian, and a supporter of the English crown. So he will do whatever suits the English and the Burgundians. Old Pierre Cauchon.
Yeah.
He played a prominent part in these negotiations, which were completed in November, with the final agreement for the English to pay 10,000 livres tournoise, which was the currency of the time. I'm guessing like 10,000 gold pieces. Plenty of cash.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A hefty price tag to obtain her from Luxembourg, from Jean-Claude Van Damme. After the English paid the ransom, they moved Joan to Rouen, their main headquarters in France. So she's still in France.
Yeah.
But she's well within the English territory now.
Not good.
And there is no evidence that King Schmucky Jr. tried to save Joan once she was transferred to the English.
He did not care, bro.
He
was quietly applauding in the background.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who got her captured in the first place.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah. If I think the only way J Metz would have ended up dead and Bertrand de Boulanger knocked out is if someone betrayed them.
Yeah.
Someone from inside. They had someone in the Core 400, and I reckon it was our old mate that that was always around the edges. Jeremy.
No. He's too dumb for that, Dad.
So dumb he thought he was doing the right thing.
No, because he's a good guy. I don't believe it.
I think Jeremy Johns inadvertently betrayed Joan of Arc. That's what I think happened.
Are you saying he killed J Metz?
I think he's got blood in his hands.
I don't want to believe it.
I don't think he did it. What I think was they realized how dumb he was. And they were like, someone said to Jeremy, you know how you can help Joan? Head over to that Burgundian camp and tell them that Joan's on their way. That way, they might surrender before she gets there and she won't have to fight. That'll make Joan's life much easier. So he's headed out before Joan headed off with her 2 besties.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, guess what, guys? Joan's coming. Just thought you should know. And they were ready for Joan and J Metz and Bertrand de Boulanger.
Yeah.
And Jeremy made it happen. That's just my... That's
Gotcha.
I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
But he definitely did that.
I don't like to believe it.
I know. Dumb. The dumbest man in France. It makes sense? It adds up?
Yeah, adds up. That's
adds
the one.
up.
Thanks, Dad.
You don't want to believe it, but as soon as I said it, you knew it was true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, King Chucky Jr. is happy with the situation. He orchestrated it in his own way. Jeremy can't believe what he's done. He still doesn't realise that he did it.
Yeah.
Bertrand de Boulanger is playing some sick beats, no longer aware of who he is or what's happening. J Metz, rest in peace.
Yeah, I loved him. He was a legend.
And Joan of Arc has been captured by the English, by the French, by Jean-Claude Van Damme himself.
Yeah.
And the English paid sweet dollar bills to get their hands on Joan. But for what ends, we do not know yet.
We're in the trenches right now. We're in the trenches.
Yeah, it is not looking good for our hero, Joan of Arc. I have warned everyone that we are fast approaching the end of this season, so I can only imagine things don't go well for Joan of Arc. But look, she had to deal with logistics she wasn't expecting to.
Yeah.
She had to deal with the dumbest man in France being turned against her.
Yeah.
That's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with a rat in the ranks who doesn't know he's a rat.
Yeah, that's true.
And that you don't know, that you never suspected would become a rat.
Yeah.
They're the hardest rats to deal with. What if you've got a dog in your house that you think's just a lovely dog, but this whole time it was just a real big rat?
Or
and you didn't even know. And it doesn't know it's a rat.
Or what if you had a rat and then it turned out to be Peter Pettigrew?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's essentially what's happening here.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc's been Peter Pettigrewed by someone who doesn't even know he's Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah.
He thinks he's the hero of the story.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Jeremy. But look, Joan is now in Rouen and heading fast towards Rouen. We can only imagine as the English licking their lips.
As they always do.
What are they going to do with their $10,000 worth of livre tournois?
Whoa.
That they've paid to use Joan for their own malicious devices. They want bang for their buck. And we are going to find out how are they going to bang that buck.
Oh, dear.
In the next episode of
Yonks Ago.
Delicious.
What?